There are some things that we need to consider when collecting primary data and secondary data. So, when collecting primary data, we want to consider the types of questions that we use, the sequencing of questions, so what order, and then the formatting of the questionnaire. Is it easy to read? Is the layout okay for people to understand? We're going to focus on the types of questions right now. So, first off, we have two types of questions. The first type is open-ended questions. So these are questions to which there's no definitive answer. What's your favorite food? Um, where would you like to travel? So everybody could have different answers, and it's really hard to use that data moving forward because you could have such a variety of answers from people. The next type of questions that you see more often when collecting data are close-ended questions. So these have a finite set of answers to which the respondent chooses. Okay, so um, they're easy to standardize. I can say, this percentage of people said yes to this. This percentage of people said no to this. This is a percentage of people that feel marginalized in school, for example. These types of things we can standardize and we can present that information very easily. So our option for close-ended questions are we could do a scale. So, rank your experience from 1 to 10 visiting Starbucks today. 1 being very low, poor service, 10 being very good service. You could do a multiple choice. Okay. What's your favorite subject out of these 6 subjects? You could do a rank. So out of these 6 subjects, rank them from your favorite to least favorite. And then you could do a completion one, okay, where people fill in the blank. So what I'm going to go through now is some examples of these types of questions, and we're going to relate it to a cell telephone company. Okay, so if I were doing a survey about cell phones and a cell phone company or a service provider, an open ended question would be something like, which brand of cell phone do you prefer and why? So everybody could have a different type of answer. So let's write that down as an example. So, which brand of cell phone do you prefer? And usually with something like this, there would be a follow-up question like why, and then people can justify their answer. Okay, so if we were to come up with a question about cell phone providers that use a scale, we could say on a scale of 1 to 10, so on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your cell phone provider? So if we had, 1,000 different people rate their cell phone provider, we could say, 80% of the population, rate their cell phone provider in the bottom, as at a 3 out of 10. Okay, something like that. Okay, let's now do a ranking example. So maybe we could do something like rank the following apps in order of frequency of use. So how often you use them. So frequency of use, someone might use their camera a whole lot and, things related to school maybe less so. Or maybe the other way around. You never know. So then we have multiple choice questions, and we see multiple choice questions all the time in school. So let's do one, related to the cell phone company. So maybe how many hours do you spend on your cell phone? So if we left it like that, people would put in an answer. But if we wanted multiple choice, we would give them different options to choose from. So let's write out our question. So on average, how many hours do you spend on your phone? And then that would be per day. And then we would give those options. So, option A might be 0 to 5 hours. Option B might be 5 to 10 hours. Option C may be 10 plus hours. Okay. And then completion, that would just be asking the reader a question where they would give a direct answer. So, who is your cell phone provider? Okay, so you'd say Rogers or whatever it is. So when we talk about collecting data, a lot of times we do look at secondary data for research. And a reminder that secondary data is data that's gathered by somebody else, so somebody other than the researcher. So the most common sources of our data, usually, one place we tend to go to is government sources, okay, that are posted online, or like records, government records. We would take a look at books. We would take a look at published sources. So a medical journal where people post their data or their research findings. We could take a look at newspapers and websites. And again, it's really important to take a look at the source of where this data comes from and make sure that it's a reputable source. So the most reputable, or the place that people in Canada usually go to, would be Statistics Canada. So Statistics Canada is a source that many people use in Canada to find secondary data. Okay, and this is, government-run, government collections of data that is Canadian-based. So what I want you to do is actually explore Stats Canada on your own a little bit. So I want you to follow through these steps to do a little bit of an exploration. So you're going to start by going to Stats Canada, okay, their website. I want you to click on data. That's where we're going to go find some data. And then you can use the keyword box to complete a search. So there is a lot of information on here about COVID-19. If you are interested in looking at data, for me, I get enough of it on the news. So I did an example here. For those of you that are going to college, you could type in college. And then what happens on the website is that your results come up. So the website does look a little bit jumbled when it shows up. What you want to do when you type in your keyword is you want to take a look at the tables that are available. This is the data that's available related to your keyword. So it might not be evident in the tables that are available that it has to do a lot with college, but you can scroll down until you find one that interests you. So you're going to click on tables, okay, that's right here, and find one that's interesting to you. So I went down to the fourth one just to take a look at post-secondary enrollments by registration status, institution type, status of students in Canada, and gender. Okay, and what you can do from here after you have all this information about post-secondary enrollments is you can customize your table to show more specific information. So sometimes you can customize it by age, you can customize it by gender, by institution type. So I want you to play around on this website a little bit to see if you can find some information or some interesting data that that you would like to show me. So if you come up with something cool, you can either send me an email if you're at home, or you can show me in class. But this would be the place that we would go to find information if we wanted to, do something with the data or present something. Okay, so before I finish this video, you are going to be working on an assignment next. So this is our assignment number 2, so collecting primary data practice. And I want you to put together, there's 5 questions. I want you to put together your answers and then submit that assignment in our assignment drop-off box. Okay, so email me any questions and hopefully things are clear for you here.